What's shaking, everybody? Welcome into the Cover Price Weekly Shakers. Let's see here. While you all are congregating...
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. Game. EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. What have I got? EA Sports. Here we go.
Round one, fight! Oh, you get...
Oh, that's such a good mix. Lando, I think that might be your mix.
It really is. I don't know. Like, obviously, they don't see what we're doing, but the whole time that's playing, I'm just like, I'm vibing. I'm just vibing, and I know every song on that list, so it's so good.
I know most of them, I think, but not all of them. But yeah, guys, welcome in. It's official. It's the Shaker Show. We have a really good list planned tonight. It's a lot of mixture going on here. Like, there's a couple books that I was expecting to see, a couple that I'm not surprised by, but hopefully it won't be an overnight for you. Let's do some quick round table, starting with Lando.
What's going on, guys? I'm so happy to be back because Thursdays is my favorite night of the week, but It's October. Halloween season is in full effect, guys. Did you start decorating yet?
Yes, my whole like living room's done with like candles, like purple candles.
Yeah.
Same. Like we have like today is actually my youngest kid's birthday, and we have the birthday party this weekend, and the house is fully decorated with Halloween stuff already.
Awesome.
So we're gonna have a mixed vibe going for him this weekend. But
That's awesome.
yeah, man, I'm pumped. It's good vibes. I know there's a lot going on, especially in Florida. So I hope everyone's safe, especially those regular viewers tuning in. Those of you capable of tuning in, nothing but love. We're thinking of everybody there. But yeah, big night ahead. Like Laura said, Halloween season's in full effect.
It really is. It's kind of cool to see how it affects the aftermarket. Chris, say what's up, Dr. Yo-Yo.
Hey, so I'm glad to be back in town. So this last weekend we went to Pennsylvania, Lancaster area for our 21st anniversary, and my wife did a lot of yarn shopping, and I bought a lot of comic books. And check this out. This is my first pre-code comic right here. 1948 Public Enemies. And if you can see right there, this was the top comic on the stack. There were 32 copies of this comic in that stack, and it just has that paper sticky on it. So this is pretty cool in my opinion. So I picked that up. Bunch of other things. Put it on Instagram. And if you guys are following us on Instagram, make sure that you're participating with the Halloween covers, right? Lords of Horror, hashtag Lords of Horror, hashtag Halloween comic covers. I'm putting up a cover every single day. And I know a lot of the other crew is doing it, if not every day, every couple of days at least. And we're just putting up our favorite Halloween covers, our favorite horror covers, So check it out over on Instagram. You guys can follow me and see the hashtags. It'll be the last 10 things that I've uploaded.
All right. Last but not least, my main man, Marty. Say what's up.
What's up, folks? What's up? Thank you for joining us as always. And we always appreciate you guys hanging out. It's not the same without you guys, because we do this for you guys, right? Right? We do this for them. We do this for everybody, and we have fun doing it as well. So thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you joining us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you are new. We always try to have an interesting show, and we always throw our opinions out there. But, our opinions are basically on experience, market trend, things like that. So just to kind of let you guys know. But nevertheless, Halloween, I'm seeing so many wonderful covers on Instagram. People are posting amazing, amazing covers. Please don't forget to tag us on their hashtag Lords of Horror. And don't forget to also tag us hashtags LOTLB and hashtag LOTLB something else, right?
If you don't know, just
something.
Take a look at the Instagram, then you'll see all the hashtags on there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Guys, I've been horrible at adding any books at all on Instagram. Like all week. Sometimes,
but you've been great at commenting on all of mine.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
I've
been following and making sure to give you guys some love, because some of the covers you guys are sharing are insane, absolutely insane. Some I've never even seen, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show books that most people have never seen. Some of them, obviously, like today's Batman one, obviously. But speaking of hot takes, Marty, I'm gonna go on the record right now. I don't care about the feedback in the chat on this one. I'm going on the record. I loved the second Joker movie. I loved it.
Okay. Awesome. And I have not seen it.
If you didn't like it,
I haven't seen it.
Just start a whole debate in the chat. So no spoilers if you have seen it, because there's a lot of people that haven't, but you can say whether or not you liked it or not. That's fine. I
was reading the chat, and while I was at work, I briefly glanced at what was going on. I noticed there was a little comment about the second Joker movie, and I heard some good reviews about it. It was different, and however, I've yet to seen it. Hopefully, I can watch it soon, but I will give you my opinion when I do watch it.
If you liked the first one and you came in with the expectations that this is a new Joker, I think you'll like the second one. You just have to be open-minded to it.
I don't look at it as like they're new Jokers. I look at it as a multiversal
Absolutely.
different Jokers.
Yeah.
I mean, because you've seen so many. How many Jokers have there been throughout the Batman series, right? I mean,
Yeah.
multiples, and so I look at it. Okay, there's another Joker. There's another Joker. So we're always going to get a different type, a different brand, and I find that Joker very interesting as as someone that works in the mental health field, because it really dives deep into the psyche of the Joker.
I really agree, and Marty, because of that, I think that you're going to enjoy this one. But we'll see.
It's gotten terrible reviews. Sony is saying that Madam Web is going to do better than this movie.
Oh,
people
Lord.
walking out, like literally
That bad,
walking-
huh?
If you're going
Yeah.
there expecting a Batman movie with a lot of Joker violence and stuff like that, you're going to be disappointed. But if you going in there expecting the psychological twists, I think you're going to like it.
I'll
Okay.
tell you guys after the show what I think, because we're gonna start a whole debate.
I know. We got to move on.
Well,
Otherwise we're gonna be here
no,
all
but
night. We have
real
to.
quick, just to connect the dot, it was the same thing I said a while back about the Penguin show, right? But I went into it with looking at it into a different lens. So by doing that, I was able to enjoy the show a little bit more.
And I'm
Yeah.
loving the Penguin show, and I'm
Yeah.
also loving the Agatha show. So
Guys, one last PSA before we kick it off. We're 3
What?
weeks away from Halloween, and it's a Halloween show that we're doing. Did you get your costumes? I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
haven't gotten my costumes yet, but I'm going to. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Which one?
Marty, you pointed at Slave Lay. You're going to go with Slave Lay, right?
No, not Slave Lay, not this one. No, on this one. Yes, maybe on this one.
Okay, we're moving on. We are on such a tangent here. Guys, again, welcome into the Shaker Show. This list comes from our friends over at Cover Price. We are focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily Shaker list. Keep in mind that this list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it out to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. What do we have from Shaker number 1, Marty?
Okay, first of all, let me say homage to my boy TiVo. TiVo used to talk about Big Trouble in Little China, the movie, all the time in our old show with us and Ryan Love, Dark Side Jedi. He used to always, anytime this book came up, Big Trouble in Little China, he would always get on this tangent about how great the movie was, how much he loved it. It was such a cult classic for him. So I just kind of want to add to that in. As you see, number 1 shaker is Big Trouble in Little China. Number 1, this is the Tyler Stout Mondo variant by Boom Studios, published in 2014. Big Trouble in Little China was a film released in 1986, starring Kurt Russell as Jack Burton. The film had a very modest box office, but had gone on to be a cult classic and a beloved by many. In 2014, Boom Studios began publishing Big Trouble in Little China comics, with that series running for 2 years and ending at issue number 25. Where there are a few popular variants for issue number 1, such as Hughes and the Burton tank top cover, the cover that has become the hardest to find is the Tyler Stout Mondo variant. This book was released in 2014 Mondo Con and features the same artwork from Stout's original print that was released in 2007. This variant sold for $425 this past week in a CGC 9.9 grade. This price more than doubles the previous sales of $192 for a CGC 9.8. There we go.
Okay, I think a lot of people made the list off of this book. I think it's a cult classic, so
It is.
assuming everybody's seen this. Anthony made me watch it a while back, but I love it.
Yeah?
It's just, yeah. Who's the girl? Kim Cattrall. I think she's like so pretty.
Yeah.
She back then she was, right? But then
She's
you
still
look at her.
is.
What, Kim Cattrall? I mean,
Yes.
you
she's
think so?
Marty's not
Ooh.
wrong. Marty's not wrong.
Okay. Okay. All
She's
right.
like in her 50s or 60s, and she's gorgeous. You guys are insane. But yeah, I really enjoyed her in this movie. I thought she
Okay.
was very cute. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Well,
So
We'll give you that much.
I just looked on Cover Price to see the sales data, and another one sold yesterday for $424 in a 9.9.
whoa.
9.9. Wow.
Wait, that's this one, isn't it?
I thought it said 192. So
I think that's a typo on the graphic, but it's 425 for CGC 9.9. The graphic just doesn't reflect that. The graphic's reflecting the raw price, just so you guys know.
Oh yeah. That's tracking. Okay.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So I actually saw this movie for the first time 2 years ago. I finally sat down and watched it.
Really?
And, it was great. I loved it.
I watched this back when it came out in the 80s, and I watched it a few times after that. But I'm not going to lie, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie. I do need to refresh myself. Do you guys do that? Find yourself doing that sometimes?
All the time.
Like you've seen a movie and then like you don't watch it like after 5 years or something like that. You go back and watch it and you're just like, you don't remember that. I'm doing that right now with a couple TV series, and one of them is a TV series with Tom Hardy in it called Taboo. And I swear up and down, I've seen it. But as I'm watching it, I just don't remember some of the things, and I do remember some of the things. Anyways, off my soapbox here.
All right. My favorite movie of all time is Buckaroo Banzai: Adventures Across the Eighth Dimension, and it's a wacky movie. And every time I watch it, I find a new joke in there that I absolutely love, and I try to watch it at least once a year.
Guys,
my favorite 80s is I am so sorry, Lando.
No, go ahead.
My favorite 80s is I have to say Mel Brooks' History of the World, Part 1.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
What were you gonna say, Lando?
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, this movie clearly came out a bit before my time, and even when I did watch this, it does. It's a great movie, but when you go back and see how it was done, it's a classic. But does it stand the test of time animation wise? CGI? No, absolutely not. It doesn't. It's
I love the CGI. I think it's so corny that it's even better now. I don't know.
It's so fun to watch because for what it was at that time, like, I think it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, you go back and you laugh, but it's such a good movie.
It's the practical effects that really make you appreciate it, though.
Yeah,
you know, like the
laser
blowing up. Oh yeah, all that stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And if
another
you guys
book
are
that
not-
we used to.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Another book that myself, TiVo, and Darkside used to talk about when we used to do his show way back was what is that one? Big Trouble in Little China, and the one with Vegas when they were stuck in.
They're stuck in
Kurt
Kurt
Vegas.
Russell, the Kurt Russell one when
Escape
the world
from Vegas, Escape
not
from LA.
Escape from
Overboard?
New York, Escape from New York, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I haven't seen
yeah,
that
we
one. I
used to
need to watch it.
That's
There's
another
so many
cult. That's like another cult classic. What they call, that goes in that genre.
And Tyler Stout's amazing. If you guys aren't following him on Instagram, I highly recommend it. This is like perfect for him to do this because all of his artwork is very busy. He kind of reminds me of like a modern day, like how Alan Qua does his work, and it's always very busy, lots of stuff going on, lots to look at. So if you follow him on IG, you're in for a treat. He's on some really cool covers. Okay, so first shaker of the night, guys, we have Big Trouble in Little China #1, the Tyler Stout Mondo variant from Boom Studios back in 2014. The graphics wrong. The raw sale was $192 with a 9.9 coming in at $425. All right, what do we have for number 2?
Number 2, hey, look at this. We got another cartoon book on our shaker list. We have Cartoons, number 14, DC Comics 2002. Cartoons have been a long staple of the comic book industry. Cartoons is an anthology series based on popular characters from the Cartoon Network. This issue features the first appearance of the characters from Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy. Billy and Mandy trick the Grim Reaper into being their friend, which leads to the spooky premise for the comic and show. The show was wildly popular and featured some amazing voice talent. Perhaps it's due to the spooky season that is October, but recently a raw dog, very fine copy sold for $300.
Booyah.
Well, damn. I think I've seen one
Right.
of these a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
That's
"I'm
my
tapping out."
comment. I'm out.
That And $300 for a very fine. I mean, wow. That's
Well,
nuts.
it's nothing different from what we see as far as cartoon collecting, right? Ren and Stimpy. I mean, you name it, multiple ones that have gone up in huge numbers right now in prices. I mean, could this be one eventually? I mean, we see this at a 300. So, I
I think
mean,
it's already
read the tea
there.
leaves.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this cartoon several times on television, but not something I was like watching at the point of my within my life. But one thing you said, Chris, is that the cast is a pretty impressive cast, especially when it comes to the voiceovers. And there's one particular person, because like when I was reading the write up, I'm like, I'm curious to see who was behind this, and like there are some banger, actors, actresses on this, and there was one called Jennifer Hale. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jennifer Hale, but she has done so many projects. I'm literally like looking at a list here. You have like Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths. You have literally the latest Mortal Kombat video game, which is Mortal Kombat 1. So many Justice League stuff, World of Warcrafts, video games galore. It's crazy. Like when you look at the list of talented actors on this show, I think that's a whole other rabbit hole that you go through and you're like, wow, this is impressive. So seeing this sale, like I said, it was something that I saw on TV but never really paid attention to. A raw VF 300. Man, I might keep an eye out in those boxes for this one.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. This is one of those books that you might stumble across in some of those boxes, because I know that the guy who runs the comic shop near me, he's not looking for these in the collections he buys. He's looking for Marvel and DC key characters and stuff like that. I mean, this is a key because it's the first Grimm and Billy and Mandy, but this isn't the kind of key that he would pull out.
Yeah. By the way, the girl Jennifer Hale I mentioned was actually on X-Men 97, and she played Jean Grey. So just to give you an idea. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, those are some big names then. Okay, you proved your point completely. Like that's interesting to know, and I think that's why this show's so fun to watch, because you never know what you should be looking for, and it kind of like helps you out a little bit. Again, like what Chris was saying, a lot of people aren't necessarily pulling this going, oh, I know exactly what this is. So if you happen to dig around and find it, pick it up. Cartoons number 14 from DC in 2002. Very fine, going for $300. So imagine what you could do with a nice minty one.
Yeah.
All right, Lando, what do we have next?
All right, shaker number 3.
Beautiful.
It's on the thumbnail because it's so good. But Elvira's House of Mystery, issue 11, direct sales by DC in 1986. Now, October is typically the month where we see the best sales for Halloween and other related horror books. It's also the best time to revisit those scary movies, but we digress. Dave Stevens' books were hitting all-time highs just a few months ago, and it seems that hysteria has died down a bit. Elvira's House of Mystery has been a severely undervalued series until the Dave Stevens crowd found it and started bidding it up. Just over a year ago, we brought this book up as it was hitting a high of $630 for a graded 9.8. Prices have just escalated since then, as sales of $800 and $900 earlier this year have been eclipsed by a sale for $1,000 this week for a graded 9.8. Just in time for the festive fall activities. A raw copy graded as good sold for $125 as well, solidifying this as one of the most cherished Halloween covers. With the spooky season just beginning, we're watching for other Halloween books to scare the market. I think this one came in with an impact. Yes, we had bigger sales, $800, $900, but the $1,000 sale. Damn, Dave Stevens covers, yes, man. They've picked up steam, of course, with, as we were just saying, the Dave Stevens crowd, I guess we're calling them. But I think this is a freaking amazing cover, man. Dave Stevens killed it on this one. I'm just curious if there's anything behind this key-wise, because a raw good copy at $125 is pretty impressive. I mean, I'm not surprised considering it's Dave Stevens.
It's an homage.
Yeah, but that $1,000 sale, like, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I think it's literally just because it's a Dave Stevens. I mean, Elvira is a cult icon, especially with Halloween. But I mean, this is another one of those things where you got to look in those boxes. I mean, this weekend I found this one. It's a Dave Stevens cover, and I got it for $3. So you just got to look. You got to look in these things, these flea markets, these antique stores. I mean, that's where I'm finding this stuff, because they're not looking for these kinds of things, but comic book fans are, and Dave Stevens definitely has a fan base, so you gotta tap into.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you guys more. I'm a fan of Airboy. I have a couple of those. I think that all of his stuff is very, very well done. I think it's a little bit sad that the bubble's starting to go down, because I thought he deserved all the hype he was getting, and to see it kind of slowly leveling out, I was like, come on, you guys, keep supporting this guy, because there's only so many of these. And this cover in particular is such a hard one to get in a good condition. Like anyone I've seen of these have always been spine taped everywhere. So I'm not really surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised the good one for 125, because I don't know how you find these in decent condition. Marty, you're muted. Marty?
I'm here wondering. Am I about to? I apologize. My dogs are.
Were you talking the whole time, and we're like not even acknowledging you? We're like, la la la.
Yeah. Actually, I was going on the whole time. I was chiming in. I was like, hey, yeah. Hey, by the way, Chris. Hey, Lando. What about? And I thought you guys were just ignoring me. So
we're just ignoring Marty.
I'm pretty sure the dog was confused for a second.
No. I'm playing, but no. Thanks for letting me know. Beautiful. I just wanted to say beautiful cover. I love Dave Stevens. I can understand why the sales are this high. Definitely for Dave Stevens fans. Remember, this is a cult following as well. I mean, you see the trend tonight, right? I mean, look at this. This is another cult following. So if you're a Dave Stevens plus Elvira fan and you're big into Halloween, I could see you spending this much. So congratulations. If somebody got their key book that they wanted.
And before everybody in the chat starts, claiming that the Dave Stevens bubble has burst and everything's going to drop, and you got to remember, all these things go in waves, okay? And this didn't sell for 125 with a dead cat bounce, as you would say in stocks. This sold for 125 as a good because somebody felt it was worth that much money. Yep. And that's just how these things work with collectibles. What is it worth? It's worth what somebody will pay. And somebody thought that this was worth paying $125 for a good. And I think that's amazing. And if that doesn't tell you that you need to be paying attention and grabbing those Dave Stevens when you have a chance, I don't know how to get the message to you otherwise.
Yeah, but I'm totally here for the dip, because I will buy it up at that point. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're panic selling this for low, let me know. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have been waiting for a while. All right, well, there you go. Elvira's House of Mystery number 11, direct edition from DC back in 1986, with a raw good going for $125. A couple of you in the chat have been looking for this book for a while and haven't had any luck. 11 years of searching and nothing. So that gives you an idea of how sought after this is. All right, Marty, what do we have next?
All right, nice. Yeah, I got this read. Yeah, nice read here, Laura. Okay. Number 4 brings you number 4 brings you My Little Pony. Fiendship is Magic number 1, Sugar Skull Taylor incentive variant by IDW 2015. My Little Pony was another Hasbro toy that went into stratosphere after it launched in 1981, created by Bonnie Lachère. The mega popular children's character gained instant popularity and became a billion-dollar industry worldwide. As with most admired characters that gain such widespread recognition, a comic book was sure to follow, and writer Katie Cook took on the challenge with My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic number 1 in 2012. IDW's cartoon series became one of its most lucrative titles for the next 12 years. Which most would have thought to be simply a children's throwaway book. Fans have come to appreciate the fantasy, and quite a few copies have gained significant traction, including this Twilight Sparkle Sugar Skull retail incentive cover by Sarah Richard. What's crazy about this incentive is that although most will fall under the 1 in 10 ratio, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, etc., purchases of, let's say, 25 copies of the original will get you 1 copy of the variant. This variant was unique because you had to order 25 copies of the entire series to qualify. That said, most copies barely crack 6 to 10 copies of each issue. So to chase this book would have been too costly of an investment. To put this in perspective, the cost to acquire this book for retailers would have put them back roughly $200, which is why this book recently sold for an all-time high of $719 for a CGC 9.8. Trust us when we tell you that hunting down Sugar Skull variants can be a lifelong quest for all the bronies out there and will remain a collective tradition for years to come.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
Where my bronies at?
No, man. I'm tapping out on this one too, brother. So it's all you.
Well,
It has a massive following. Lando's right. There's so many of them out there.
It does. It's a big following. Here's another cult following, right?
Yep.
It's a sort of a niche type of collecting.
yeah,
So-
I think it's fun to always poke fun at the fact that the boys are picking up My Little Ponies, right? I think that's what we all like to joke about. But in theory, as you can see, $719 US dollars. You're nearly $1,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
This is not chump change. I like the
No.
Sugar Skull stuff, but what's fun about the My Little Ponies covers, the run itself with the Fiendship, Friendship is magic, whatever. It's Friendship, but this cover says Fiendship. There's multiple homage covers to like Walking Dead 1, the Beatles, right? There's Beatle covers. There's so many cool covers. Again, not one of these books are in my collection, that's for sure. But there is a market for it, like Marty was saying.
You don't need to be scared, Lando. You can come out as brony. It's fine.
I don't have any. I don't. I totally slept
Yeah.
on My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Listen, this is one of those things, right? And maybe it was like a meme at one point, like, oh, I'm gonna watch My Little Pony. Oh,
Yeah.
My kids watched it. It had some funny moments. It had me laughing sometimes. And people like the series, and they buy the comics for the covers. And a lot of these comic covers, especially the convention exclusives, sell for big money. And again, I know that I've said it 3 times already. When I dig in long boxes, I grab My Little Pony books, just like I grab Dave Stevens books, just like I grab other books that I think are important. But if I'm paying $1 a book, I'm going to grab My Little Pony book because I know that I can sell them for $10 a piece on my eBay store.
So Trish is a friend of mine. Her and Tony Fleece both work on My Little Pony on the regular. That's kind of how they both got started. And somebody in the chat mentioned this. They get commissions all the time from people to do covers with My Little Pony, like their favorite character. And it's interesting. Like you have to collect what you like, collect what you love. And I have seen the show a couple of times because my daughter was into it, and it has good morals. It's a good, cute little show for, just to enjoy at face value. But all right, My Little Pony Fiendship is Magic #1. Sugar Skull retailer incentive variant from IDW back in 2015. A top sale for a CGC 9.8 came in at $719, guys. So keep your eye out. As Marty was saying, it was difficult for the retailers to get a hold of this, so definitely rare. All right, what do we have next?
Oh, next we have Rappin Max Robot Special Edition #2. Now, before I do this read, I do want to say that we are at number 5 right now on the list. And always through the halfway point, I like to give out my call to action. So here's my call to action this week. If you love Halloween, you can share that with us by dropping a comment down below about what your favorite Halloween costume is and what your least favorite Halloween candy is. I want to see peanut candy and candy corn all over the comment section down below, because that crap's nasty. I'd rather have a doorstop in my bag than get candy corn. All right.
Candy corn's delicious. I love it.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
Chris, you know what my favorite Halloween candy is, brother?
What's that?
Candy corn.
Oh,
I like it too. And I like black licorice, Chris.
Oh,
Guys,
it's
black
delish.
licorice also.
Yeah, that's good too.
My least favorite, I would get those red boxes of fucking sun-made raisins, and I never understood why people did that to me. I was like,
That's so mean.
Don't give me raisins.
yeah, man.
Come on,
That's a
down in the
good
section
question,
below.
Len.
This is what I want to know. Down in the section below, everybody here, drop it in the comment. Are you pro candy corn or anti candy corn? I want to know the metrics. Put it in there. If you're watching on the rewind, put it in there. I'm gonna pull up the metrics next week. I want to know the data. Pro candy corn or against candy corn. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon and give a thumbs up to the video. All right.
And I have a question for Lando. I'm very curious. So did you grew up in Canada, French Canada, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So do they have Halloween trick or treat there?
Of course, dude. We don't live in igloos. Like, yes, we do things.
Oh.
we go trick or treating. Yes, my kids are pumped every year. I use my kids as an excuse to like fill up bags.
I was so curious because it's typically an American holiday. I'm not a holiday, but American.
No,
it's not Thanksgiving or the 4th of July.
No,
yeah,
we go hardcore for Halloween here.
It's not a made-up thing like Columbus Day on Monday. It's Halloween.
Everywhere.
I'm just curious. Like maybe you guys celebrated it differently.
I could just picture little Lando in his Batman outfit, holding out his bag and getting a nice big old pour of maple syrup into his bag.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And some poutine or whatever that gravy French fries thing.
Oh my God.
All right. Rappin Max Robot Special Edition number 2. This is one of those indie books that's really hard to find, but you got money if you do find it. This is by a company called Fun Art Inc. in 1986. All right, the top sale raw are $175. The comic industry has always had a profound way of influencing history among different cultures and industries, and the hip-hop community is no different. If you question that, all you gotta do is look at all the hip-hop covers that Marvel did a couple years ago, the Eminem cover, the Bird City Comics Big E cover. Come on, this stuff sells. The first hip-hop cover came out in 1986 when a Bronx native, Stuart Orr, independently published 500 books of issue number 1, and 250 black and white copies were printed as special editions for number 1 and 2. None of the 3 have ever been reprinted. Back in the early 80s, the hip-hop industry was just getting off the ground, and it was still mostly at the grassroots stage. This book was the only thing of its kind at the time, and it was the first representation of a rapidly growing East Coast hip-hop scene. Due to the historic significance and the rarity, a recent raw sale of $175, it is the only recorded aftermarket sale that Cover Price was able to find. And damn! And that goes, speaking of hip hop, right? And that goes back like a decade of data. They've only seen one sale of this book. If you're lucky enough to come across this book, grab it and cherish it, and maybe keep it to yourself, because people are going to be fighting you for it, because this book's awesome.
Yep. I agree, man. Shout out to the Canadians in the chat. I see you all, man, and I appreciate you standing up right now. Standing up. Yes, we have TV. But yeah, dude. I think
only one TV in Canada. We all crowd around.
You got to forgive Marty. He's way down in Florida. You can't get further away from Canada if you're living in the U.S.
Oh man. I I meant no disrespect, but I was just very curious. I was just literally ignorant about it, and so I meant no disrespect.
I think what this means is we need to strap a GoPro to your chest, fly you to Canada, and let's party. That's what's gonna happen.
Let's do that. I'm all for it.
I'll happily host you.
Do you guys have beer in Canada too?
Oh, dude,
my
we have
God.
beer. I will teach you.
Oh,
I will teach you. But anyways, Chris is gone. We've lost the show, guys.
Oh
let's get
man,
back
okay.
to the book. Marty, it's Thanksgiving for us this weekend. You're more than welcome. But
we're gonna see the news. Florida man found dead in Canada.
no.
Covered in tar and comic book leaflets.
And maple syrup.
Right.
There's one thing about this book, and one thing that stands factual. I don't care what anybody says. The music scene tied with comics, I always find it to be successful, always find it to be awesome. It is something I enjoy collecting, aside from the fact that I'm a musician. Just in general, I just love it. And this here has a piece of history related to the hip-hop culture scene, all of that, and I think that alone is awesome. And then when you factor the data when it comes to the sales, that is massive.
It
just
does seem low though, right, Lando? Like that seems really low.
Yeah, 175. Man, had I seen this, I would have picked this up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
interesting. You would think with the rarity of this book, it would be insane. I did not know you guys had Thanksgiving. Literally, I just learned
This
that from the chat.
weekend, turkey baby, let's go.
For what though? And that's a whole nother show. We'll have to do like a Canadian history lesson one of these days. But yeah, this is really neat.
I'm sorry, Lando. I'm so sorry.
I know he's like all these stupid Americans.
Canada's in the chat.
Americans, man.
I mean, yeah. I think Chris nailed it though. Whenever you have like these books where it's a low print run and you have an iconic part of rap or music as part of the cover, it sells fast. And this is one of those examples.
And you know that this guy's he just went to Kinko's and he just printed out a bunch, and he was probably trying to hand them out on street corners like single demo tapes, right? Check out my demo tape and my comic. Here you go.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's
right.
Reflective. All right, well, there you go, you guys. We have Rappin Max Robot Special Edition #2 from Fun Art Inc. back in 1986, and literally the only sale that we have on record, which is very, very rare, is $175 for a raw. Interesting. Okay, what do we have next?
Of course, I end up with this book, but Shinobi #1, Shaker #6 by Dark Horse in 2002. Shinobi is a popular side-scrolling hack-and-slash video game developed by Sega in the late 80s. This became one of the flagship games for Sega when ninjas were all the rage, but it was eventually supplanted by Sonic the Hedgehog in popularity. Even though this was a tough game to beat, and boy, was it ever, the franchise sold nearly 5 million copies over its 12 iterations, being last released in 2011 for the Nintendo 3DS. It was recently announced that Shinobi has been given the green light for a movie adaptation, as Sam Hargrave from Netflix's Extraction is set to direct. Not too long ago, video game adaptations were the death knell for movie studios, but in recent years, with the release of Super Mario Bros. And Sonic the Hedgehog, they are suddenly in vogue. This recent news may have influenced one collector to drop $150 for a raw, near-mint copy of this book. The exclusive variant cover also saw a huge sale of $100 for a raw, no-grade copy. As the video game industry matures, the nostalgia for the older games never goes away, and that is facts. Now, the video game, yes, I played, what was the name of it? It was Shinobi 3. Shinobi 3 was the one that I was playing like crazy on Sega back in the day. Kind of like
Revenge of Shinobi was Shinobi 3. Revenge of Shinobi.
Yeah, when I was younger, I would play even Contra, and Contra, like, I'd be playing the same 3 stages over and over because I was young and I was not so good. But Shinobi was so much fun. I like the fact that now apparently this is going to be greenlit. Side scrollers are, I think, growing up, especially in the like early 90s, side scrollers were the thing, right? like all of my favorite games were side scrollers, whether it be Super Mario, whether it be Mega Man. Like for me, those were side scrollers, right? You just
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
and yeah, like Shinobi is pretty neat. I think one thing I keep saying over and over is that yes, video games, you know, we're getting older, guys. We're getting older. There is a clear market for video game comics, and I do think not that the comic book movies are gonna have a fatigue phase, but I think the video game movies done right, you never know, man. These books could pop off, especially such as this, like Shinobi now. Possibly, well, it's been given the green light for live action. I think it has a good potential if done correctly. So,
And Shinobi is a huge title. I mean, there
Yeah.
are 12 Shinobi games since, I think 1987 is when the arcade version came out. And so this is a video game franchise that has a lot of history and a lot of fans. And the comic, I didn't know they made a comic. And to find out now that they're doing a movie, obviously, yeah.
Yep.
The first thing people should think about when they hear about a new video game movie being greenlit is, did they do a comic? And then go buy that comic. So this is totally awesome. And Marty, just so you know, they had video games in Canada.
yes,
Yeah. Can you guys stream that to Canada?
we could now. But we're still on dial-up. We're still on.
No, but yeah, 56K modem. Is that it?
I'm gonna get JB to make a little intro where it's like Lando talking about video game comics, because that's like your thing. We need something every time you do that, because you've made it very, very clear, and you're always right that if you see these type of books, you pick them up.
Yeah.
No, I think the scroll, the pop-up thing should be yes, it's available in Canada. Let's get
Yes,
down-
Kind of put a stamp, kind of a graphic on it. Goes
Canada.
Canadian approved.
Oh my gosh, all the Canadians in the chat too. We have a lot of Canadians out here. So
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I
never knew we had this many.
Yeah, I love my Canadian brothers out there. I have some really good friends up in Canada area, man. So that I've met just through the comic book community, and we used to chat all the time. So used to always always much love to my Canadian brothers.
Yeah, very cool. All right, guys, there's 80 of you hanging out with us right now. So thank you for spending your Thursday night with the Shakers crew. We appreciate you being here. If you haven't already, give the show a thumbs up and subscribe. I think Chris does a better job of that whole thing. So make sure you look at number 5. That's what we're asking for you guys to put your, like, what did you say? The worst candy in the chat. I was keeping count, Chris. The majority like candy corn.
I want to see the poll.
Yeah.
I need to see the metrics. I'm putting it out there again. Put it in the chat. All 80 of you, I should see at least 80 comments. Yes, candy corn. No candy corn. Come on. Put it in there. I want the metrics, because that crap's nasty. I don't know how you eat it.
It's like honey. It's good. All right, Shinobi number 1. Dark Horse.
You take your black licorice and your
Black licorice
candy
is good
corn,
too.
and just go ahead and find a dark corner and to eat it in, because that's nasty stuff that you're putting in your body.
I always get all the extras that nobody else eats too, so I'm like, cool. Anyway, Dark Horse 2002 with a raw near mint coming in at $150.
Yes.
Okay, what do we have next, Marty?
We've got, give me 1 second, going back up. Number 7 brings you Tales from the Beast Wars. Transformers Critical Mass #1, 3H Productions, published in 1997. Whew. The Transformers have gone through many iterations over the years, but for 90s kids out there, Beast Wars Transformers have always been extremely memorable. Hitting living room TV sets in 1996, this show is set 300 years after the original 1984 series and follows the stories of the descendants of the original Transformers. Instead of the usual cars, trucks, and jets of their ancestors, the Maximals, Autobots, and the Predacons, Decepticons, would transform into beast mode, becoming a robotic animal version of themselves. Unlike its predecessors, this show featured fully computer-generated graphics making it a departure for not only the original series, but other shows of its time. This week, an extremely scarce issue based around the series hit an all-time high for a raw copy on the aftermarket. Tales from the Beast Wars Transformers Critical Mass #1 topped out at $288, a notable increase from its previous high. At the annual BotCon convention in 1997, this short black and white issue was given out in a set that included exclusive action figures. This issue also marks the first appearance of several Transformers in a full-size issue, including Rhinox, Cheetor, Black Arachnia, and Eraser. Additionally,
Nope, I won't do it. You're still good. You're still good.
Additionally, there are only 3 copies graded in a 9.8 condition on the CGC census, and only 9 total documented raw sales on the cover price since 2017. With the combination of scarcity and this being a key, this is certainly a book that should be at the top of the list if you're into the adventures of the Autobots.
Dang, Marty, you killed that. That was really well done. That was some tough ones in there. You just
That
nailed
was a
it.
long read. Yeah.
That was a long read. That was 2 long reads right there.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I have a feeling I was set up tonight on this one, huh?
Maybe a little bit. Did you see the movie? Any of you guys see the movie? The Beast Wars movie?
Well,
I did not watch it yet. No, I did not watch it.
Beast Wars, like it had shades of it, but that was not Beast Wars in my eyes, at least. Now, I grew up on Beast Wars. I loved Beast Wars. In fact, I'm gonna do a Marty reminiscing moment, because Beast Wars is what taught me to be responsible. And what do I mean by that, dude? I had a Cheetor toy that I loved. I loved this thing so much. I carried it with me everywhere. And I took public transportation, because we have that in Canada. And I took a bus with my mom, and I lost the toy in the bus. And I only realized it afterwards when we got off, and I was heartbroken. I was completely heartbroken. I loved Beast Wars. I loved even Cheetor. And yeah, I lost that toy forever. And it was at that point I was like, I gotta be smarter. I gotta be better with my toys. And I made sure to never lose a toy again. But yeah, man, dude, Beast Wars, that's a Lando reminiscing moment. But dude, Beast Wars is part of my childhood, part of growing up. What we got in live action just didn't do it for me. I mean, it is what it is. Some people enjoyed it. I just had a hard time. I had a hard time getting through that movie. But this is a cool book. I didn't even know about this.
Okay. Do you think it spoils? Do you think it spoils the movie? Spoils Beast Wars, people that grew up like you with Beast Wars? Do you think it spoils it for everybody, or like if it's different for people that didn't grow up watching this and say they went into watching the movie and enjoyed it?
Look, if you went into the movie just without any prior viewings of or anything Beast Wars related, I think it's an enjoyable movie. But like if you wanted the Beast Wars, you didn't get that. It didn't feel that way. There was a lot of things missing, characters missing. I guess I don't want to put it on the same scale as, let's say, the hardcore comic readers that read the Infinity Gauntlet and the entire Infinity Saga, and then when they got the MCU, well, it wasn't copy paste, right? It was something totally different, but well done. I didn't feel like it was well done either. On behalf of Transformers, Beast Wars, it wasn't even called Beast Wars. It was something else. But yeah, it was fair. I think the best part of the movie, unfortunately, was the post-credit scene. And if a post-credit scene is the best part of your movie, well, there you go.
There you go. Well
Honestly,
said, Lando. Well said.
I haven't been satisfied with any of the Transformers movies that have come out, other than the original back in '86, which I'm a little 6-year-old Dr. Yo-Yo sitting in the theater just crying because Optimus Prime died. Yeah. But
Can you do that again, please? I missed that.
You have to go back and clip it. Sorry. But yeah, I haven't really enjoyed any of the Transformers movies, and the new one that's coming out where they have Megatron and Optimus being like childhood buddies. I'm like,
It came out. It came out. Well, okay. So that's touching on the origin. This is before.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed any of them. I'm disappointed because I grew up loving Transformers as a kid, and not quite to the point where I was carrying around a Cheetor everywhere. And Lando, now I've made it my mission to find you a Cheetor. By the way, I put that on my list.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will return that lost Cheetor to you. I promise.
That would be magical. That would be such a good like full circle of the show. Oh my god!
Wouldn't it? You always go to the garage sales and flea markets and all that stuff.
The funny thing is, I'm confident I've sold this before. I may even have it. I have to go look. But yeah, the Beast Wars thing. I loved it when it was happening in the cartoon, and obviously the toys. I haven't seen the new one just because I don't want to be disappointed, and I haven't been happy with any of the new Transformers movies at all.
Not even the Megan Fox one on her motorcycle and
with her toe thumbs. No, thank you. I'm good.
Wow, so Kim Cattrall and Megan Fox just aren't good enough.
No. Megan Fox in the Shia LaBeouf time was like,
yes,
perfect.
I agree with you, Lando. Absolutely agree with you. I actually
under
enjoy the Transformers.
Under the hood.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Motorcycle. Woo! Let's go.
That whole movie, I feel like really put her on the map, and people just, who cares what her feet look like at that point?
No. Her thumbs look like toes. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, her thumbs are toes.
Yeah, look at her thumbs. It looks like they're toes.
Chris,
she's got
Chris, let's be honest. If she saw me, she'd say my butt is as flat as a sheet of wood. Like it's.
She wouldn't talk to you. Who are you kidding? She wouldn't talk to you.
No. Oh my gosh, you guys.
You wouldn't talk to me either. Don't worry about it.
Tales from the Beast Wars, Transformers, Critical Mass #1, 3H Productions back in 1997. We have a raw near mint coming in at a high of $288. Man, we are almost done. We have a few left here. What do we have next?
Oh man, I'm so glad I got this one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. This is the 2024 Andrew Curry San Diego Comic-Con variant, exclusive with Wanted Comics and Webster's Vault. The Gold Leaf, gilded, limited to 50. And that was just the title. IDW 2024. There was a lot of anticipation for the reboot of the main Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series from IDW after the last series ran for a record 150 issues. Jason Aaron had signed on as a writer and had a few talented artists lined up for the first 5 issues. Aaron has been the go-to writer for reinventing legacy characters with runs on Thor, God of Thunder, and Star Wars, as well as his creator-owned series, Scalped and Southern Bastards, which is a really weird book. Southern Bastards is a weird book. There are so many variants for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle #1 that it was hard to keep track of them all, and it's going to be interesting to see if any of them can hold value over time. But for now, this awesome 1 of 50, and I don't mean 1 for every 50, I mean only 50. This awesome variant by Andrew Curry has been rising to the top, and it features an original and interesting cover of Splinter sitting on top of the vials of mutagen containing the baby turtles. The Gold Leaf gilded variant was only available at San Diego Comic-Con, and this week a near mint raw copy sold for an astonishing $680. The normal cover for this variant without the gold leaf only has 1,000 copies printed, and it is also no slouch, selling for $60 last month. This just shows that originality goes a long way. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The turtles are freaking awesome, and it's another one of those things where...
Tell us how you really feel there, Chris, huh?
Hey, I'm not going to hold back. I mean, when I find old turtle books like this one, I snag it because you can't get these anymore. These are so amazing. And I love the splinter and the ooze vials, and you could see, like, if you look at the vial, you can see that there's a crack forming. It's very cool stuff. I love it.
I actually covered this book on my show, and a few things I wanted to point out is, one, TMNT #1 that just dropped in 2024 had probably one of the most amount of covers I've ever seen on a title in quite some time. It was definitely up there. The amount of exclusives were absolute madness. I kept telling people, just be careful with the ratios, because with so many exclusives, it's normal that there's going to be a lot available to you. Now, when it comes to the exclusives, there were many beautiful exclusives, but this one right here for San Diego Comic-Con, there's this one that was limited to 50, but there's also another Curry cover of the exact same cover. I believe it was limited to 1,000, and it's the exact same cover. The only difference is that little Hazard logo that is under Splinter,
the bio logo,
it's in silver, as opposed to the gold. So the gold is how you can differentiate. If ever you're looking on eBay or whatever, that's one way to notice. And seeing this at $680 for a raw near mint, clearly it's standing out above the crowd because it was a big crowd. So this is very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think $60 for the regular is probably more where I would fall. Andrew Curry is amazing. He uses all pencils. So if you don't follow him, again, I recommend it.
Gorgeous.
He did our Dracula cover, actually, and he did a fantastic job of it. So I like Andrew Curry's work. I don't know if I would pay almost $700, but again, if you're like a huge fan and you're looking for the rarity, yes, but the regular cover I think is badass too. So you can save a lot of money on that one, like what Lando was saying.
Personally, I'm more keen to the older books, the older Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle books. I'm not so much of a collector of the newer ones, but I love this cover. It's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, TMNT #1, 2024, Andrew Curry. We have it from IDW back in 2024, limited to 50, with a raw near mint coming in at $680. Okay, what do we have next?
All right, well, Shaker #9, Ultimate Fallout #6, but it is a newsstand edition by Marvel in 2011. Now, there's a lot of discussion about the different values of newsstand and the direct edition of comics. It takes a good understanding of comic history to grasp the differences between them. This recent Shaker marks the end of an era for the newsstand edition of comics. Even as superhero movies were on the rise, the newsstand ended. The market and the distribution model had gradually been changing, and like all good things, it had to come to an end. This issue is particularly interesting because it was debatably the beginning of the end for the Ultimates universe as well. Many feel that when Peter Parker, the Ultimate Spider-Man, died, so did the Ultimates line of comics. Comic book milestones like this one are unique in the collecting community, joining the ranks of the first comic with the Comics Code Authority or the first barcode on a comic. Recently, a raw copy of this book sold for $315, which is absolute madness. This is simply because of the newsstand. Look, to each their own. When it comes to the actual Ultimate Fallout stuff with the death of Peter Parker being like, oh my god, this is the end of the Ultimates, I disagree. I do understand people getting upset over it, but look what it birthed, right? Like what it gave us. Now we have Miles Morales. And Miles Morales is a staple, whether we want to admit it or not. Sure, the books are coming down and good. Hell yeah, I will definitely buy up a Miles Morales book right now. I wasn't going to pay $2,000+ for it, but now is a good time. My kids grow up. They're literally watching Spidey and His Amazing Friends over on Disney Junior, right? This is like us growing up. I talk video games. We talk nostalgia. We talk all that stuff. Miles Morales is going to be here to stay, whether we want to admit that or not, whether you were a fan or not. I think Peter dying wasn't a bad thing. I enjoy what it gave us afterwards, right? Such characters. And the Ultimate Universe wasn't the best, but I will tell you that what we're getting now with Ultimate Spider-Man, hell yeah, that is absolutely amazing.
It's really good. And Miles Morales is here to stay, and justifiably so, in my opinion. I think Miles is a great character, character. And not the soapbox or anything, but you really can't discount, representation.
Yeah.
And Miles brings that, and he's an amazing character with really good writing and good backstory, and he's like it's so natural. I really enjoy reading the Miles Morales series of Spider-Man. I loved the Ultimate universe back in the early 2000s when it came out. It was always on my grab list whenever I went to the LCS. But yeah, man, this being the last newsstand ever, right? I think that's what you said, right? This was the last
That's
Marvel
so cool.
newsstand.
Yeah.
This is history in the making right here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's got Captain America's ass on it. It's
Yeah.
America's ass. They don't have that in Canada. So
No.
No, they don't. They don't have American ass in Canada, right?
But the Canadian ass we have is Wolverines, guys. So enjoy.
There you go.
Right. You
That's
know,
not bad. That's not bad.
that's not bad. That's not bad. Just to piggyback, I mean, yeah, people don't like change typically a lot, but this world has to evolve in order to not just only to keep up with the times, but to branch out more to readers, to younger crowd, and for the internal world of it itself to bring out more characters, branch out more different places they go. I mean, you saw it in Marvel even back in the 80s and 70s when they started going more into the cosmic, and the space war and things like that. But so this is the evolution, and you've got to accept it whether or not, because change is not, it's inevitable.
Yep.
And I don't think it's bad. Give some refresh to these characters. It doesn't change the history. It doesn't change everything that you liked about Spider-Man just because there's another Spider-Man.
Yeah, Chris, look, just because it came out this literally yesterday, guys, Absolute Batman #1 for me was phenomenal. I loved it. This is a completely different take on Bruce Wayne, on Batman. It's a great change, and I'm on board. Snyder killed it. So yeah. I have no problems.
Yeah.
Open mind.
He typically does, man.
You're always gonna see the original come back. It's just gonna be these waves. It's fine. It's fine. It's good stuff. This is an important book because it's the last newsstand, newsstands, especially in the late 2000s, we're talking like 1%, right?
Yeah,
1% of all prints were newsstands at this time. So, yeah.
Yeah, I want this. This is cool. I like that little tidbit of history behind it. And like you guys already said everything, so I don't even need to add to it. This is a really good book. I think it's a good series. I agree with everything Chris said about Miles being amazing. Somebody in the chat said what I was thinking, though. I cannot wait for the next movie, which, do we know when that's even happening?
You mean MCU movie?
Yeah. Like, wasn't it supposed to be next year, but then it got pushed back, and now it's like 2027?
I think it's 26, but I'll look it up.
I'm pretty sure it's Thunderbolts, no?
No, I mean the next Spider-Verse movie.
Oh, the Spider-Verse movie. That movie keeps getting pushed, and I think it's for good reason. Good reason. I have faith that movie ends with Miles in live action.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what would happen with Ultimate Fallout if that happened? Anyway, Ultimate Fallout #6, newsstand edition, Marvel 2011. Our top sale came in for a near mint at $315. Marty, you got the last shaker of the night.
I do. And let me take a deep breath again, wet my whistle. Number 10 shaker brings you, and my final read for the evening is West Coast Avengers #7, published by Marvel in 2019. Rarely will you see a key comic book without a variant cover these days. But here we are, talking about the 2019 run of West Coast Avengers. Kelly Thompson and Jeff the Landshark, likely created by a MODOK variant named Brodok. Jeff burst into the 616 alongside dozens of the other land sharks that are unleashed on a rampage through Santa Monica. Immediately adopted by Gwenpool, Jeff bounced around on Marvels with West Coast Avengers before joining titles like Gwenpool Strikes Back, Marvel #1000, Captain Marvel Volume 10, and Deadpool Volume 8, the last two of which Thompson also wrote. Jeff has also held down his own Infinity comic, It's Jeff, since 2021, which had a physical print run in 2023. His origin, West Coast Avengers, have been on a tear over the last few years. For example, when the Infinity comic launched in 2021, this comic book was selling at $10 to $15. In 2024, that shot up to an average of $60 for a near mint raw copy. Recently, someone spent a little extra to make sure their raw copy was extra minty, shelling out $150 for a near mint plus. There you go.
Okay, what was a graded one going for though? Like, why not just buy it graded? Or do we not have any info for that?
I find it pretty interesting because graded copies were going for approximately that amount. So I'm just
That's
gonna
insane.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
check.
9.8 last sold for $275, but it was back in June. So yeah, that is interesting. So this is
The
the
cheapest
first
one listed is $329 right now.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest 9.8 listed that I can see.
first
Yeah.
appearance of Jeff the Land Shark. It's interesting.
Yes, and Jeff the Land Shark is absolutely amazing, guys. How can you not love Jeff? He's a cute little shark, but like, yeah, you don't want to mess with Jeff. There was
All I'm thinking is the Saturday Night Live skit, the Land Shark. The who is it? Land Shark. I'm not opening the door.
who
really
did
old-
that
old
skit?
bit.
Do you remember?
Oh, jeez. It was Norm Macdonald.
Oh yes, Norm. But
Yeah.
yeah, Jeff the Land Shark. Like, obviously, this book is one that is awesome if you're a Jeff fan. But Jeff, if you're noticing even the latest trends within, the newest comics coming out, FOCs and stuff like that, they're always featuring Jeff the Land Shark. I just think Jeff's an awesome character. There was a Deadpool cover. I think it was Deadpool issue 10. Where Deadpool is sitting on a throne. He's got himself a little crown, and behind him, I think it was Null or something. And you got Jeff the Land Shark, like, looking a little mortified at the bottom of the cover. And that cover was selling relatively well, man. Like, you can easily sell that book for like $20-$25 raw. You know what I mean? And it's such a book that nobody even pays attention to. But just because it had Jeff the Land Shark on it, right? But yeah, I love Jeff. I love Jeff. Simple.
You know that there's going to be a Marvel Pets movie that comes out, probably animated, maybe exclusive to Disney Plus. But I mean, you got Lockjaw for Within Humans. You got Jeff. You got probably Squirrel Girl shenanigans. It's going to happen. So I mean, if you can find this book, get it. It's not like anybody else is buying West Coast Avengers for anything right now.
Right.
Yeah, you could probably still dig around and find these too. That was our last one of the night, guys. West Coast Avengers #7 from Marvel back in 2019 with a raw near mint coming in at $150. This week, Marty is going to take the reins and tell us what's shaking.
Yes. Am I on? Am I live?
There
You
you
guys
are.
hear me?
Yep.
So,
Good.
you guys, this is when you go to Cover Price. This is the Cover Price homepage right here, and as you see on the top, my collection, my marketplace, new releases, and this is what we're looking at down here. You see these tabs: hot comics, key comics, rare finds, daily shakers, weekly movers, and top variants. We're going to go to daily shakers right here. And we're going to see exactly what is shaking.
Yay.
There we go. And when you come up on this page, this list is so fluid. This gets updated on real time if you don't know.
Yep.
And this constantly is just updating. So what you see here may change 5-10 minutes from now, if not earlier, So going down here, ooh.
Yes.
I knew there was going to be good
all
stuff
day.
on Halloween. That's badass.
Look at the tongue action. Yummy.
Uh-huh.
So far, this seems to be the first Halloween cover on the Daily Shaker right here, huh? Let's see what we got here. Look at that. Issue number 23. Is that a blonde and a red outfit right
It
there,
is.
Laura?
It
That's
is.
a blonde in a red dress. That counts.
So
Oh
Yeah.
my God, $3,000.
$3,000. There it is.
That's an expensive kiss.
Yeah. And this is where you look at your daily shakers, and typically, if you have this book, as you see, you'll see this box, a little short box right here, showing that you do have the book right here. So, and then what I typically like to do sometimes, if I do go on the daily shakers, if I'm searching for something particular, say if it's a Hulk 181, I can, if I want to purchase this or just go onto the marketplace alone, I just click on that bad boy and give it a second.
It's thinking about it. It's thinking.
It's
there we go.
thinking.
Who's on dial-up now? I'm already.
Yeah, right? Damn it, my company. So you go into it, and okay, and my comic shop. You know, if you go down here, you can actually buy off eBay. You can buy off my comic shop. And you just like when you search anything on eBay, you can just go down the left right here and just pick if you want to see CGC. Let's see.
Something's not loading for whatever. There should be something coming up.
There should be more.
There's probably none available right now.
Probably not. Let's try another one. Let's just say this bad boy, House of Secret. This has been on my wish list for quite some time, but you know, like anything, sometimes these bad boys kind of get out of reach for a while. We're looking at
not bad.
Down. That's not bad for CGC
Yeah,
7.5. No, that's actually not bad.
So I have
Wow.
2 Swamp Thing #1s at CGC right now getting graded. I'm very anxious to get them back because to see what they came back as.
Yeah.
Do an unboxing. That'd be cool.
So let me press
Or
buy
do
in
it live on the show
marketplace.
if you want me to.
Yeah, that'd be. But you can't look at the receipt then when CGC sends you that email telling you what the grade is. You can't cheat.
Yeah,
can't.
you're
There we
messing with
go.
my head, Laura.
Mm-mm.
So
Can't
you
do
go
it. That's
into
ridiculous.
clicked on that money. I clicked on that money sign, and it takes me down to what I see in eBay right over here. So some of the books, and typically I will go from price lowest, and just kind of see what I got
Right.
from there. And
The homage is sick though. It'd be-
the homage, yeah. But here we
There
go.
we
We're looking at that, and you can just do the bid, but you get the gist of this. This is so I use that a lot, especially with cover price. And if
look
I
at
don't
that
have the
sign.
book,
Yes, I know which one you're talking, Chris. Suspense Stories. Yes,
Oh my
this
god!
one right here, yeah.
I love this cover. It's insanely good.
It's a piece
Laura.
of history too. This
Yeah,
is like
it's a
new book. It changed everything.
look at that right there.
It's
Mm.
funny
19
because the Blood Hunt homage really sent a lot of love this way for this book.
Yeah,
A raw good 1.5 to 2.5 ran for 1,695 in October. Recently, yesterday, actually sold yesterday.
If it came in
So-
at a 2.5, that's not too shabby though, right? Like if you
Exactly.
graded it as a 2.5, then you've got a pretty good deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
Did you guys
Here
see
we
the
go.
new Beetlejuice movie?
My
No.
wife went without me.
My wife went without me.
I hated it.
She loved it.
I
You know,
hate
it's funny. I always say that when my wife loves a movie, it means I'm gonna hate it. So
Wow.
One of my favorite covers right here. Amazing
Oh,
Spider-Man
absolutely. Yeah,
151. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I just love the water coming down on this.
I've got a really beat copy of that.
claim.
Oh, look at that!
Let's
Look
see.
at that Air Fighters one. Hey, Laura, you were saying that you really like the Dave Stevens Airboy one, right?
I do, yeah.
Look at this outfit. Don't you think that Dave Stevens might have been influenced by this cover a little bit?
Hold on. Leave it there for a second. Where is it?
The Dazzler pile.
In here? Okay, let's take a look. Let's compare and contrast. I mean, it's pretty dang close.
Pretty dang
Yeah.
close. Okay, so look at that
Yeah.
one. And look, this is one that I found this weekend. It's not Dave Stevens. It's obviously an homage. But yeah, this is, you see that it says Valkyrie's Airboy and the Maidens right there on the cover. And you got Airboy. Hold that one up again, Laura.
Yeah, he's laying on the ground.
Yeah, this is. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
This is an homage.
awesome. This is awesome. So that Airboy, Dave Stevens, is an homage to
I
this
did not know that.
Airfighters
There you
comic
go.
number 2.
That's cool.
Chris, you just blew my freaking mind. That's
amazing.
Nobody's ever said that to me before, and I've liked this book for so long. I had no idea this existed.
I didn't know. I didn't know because I've never seen it before. But thanks to the Shakers list on Cover Price, we get to see things like
Yeah.
this
the
and
windows.
discover it.
We just
What
had a
is this
live discovery right
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
A live
So,
discovery.
scroll down,
Awesome
down,
find,
Marty.
Chris.
I
Great
wanna
job,
see
man.
Wow.
Now,
that's
Laura,
so cool.
If it makes you hate the book anymore and you want to offload it, by all means.
Hey, so
I love that one. It's my
John
favorite.
and Matt, my recommendation for this, if you guys are watching, I know you'll watch the replay at the very least. John and Matt, my recommendation up with that key, say influence Dave Stevens Airboy number, was it 4, right?
So it redirects them
2.
to the next book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Wow.
Or it's
okay,
just
okay.
pure coincidence. It could be one of the two.
Oh,
There's no
There we
way.
go.
That's crazy. Cool. Okay.
look at this. Weird Tales of Terror number 111. CGC 5.0 sold for $1,133.
That's me without my makeup on, Marty. Ugh.
That's-
The werewolf with the skull.
I'm sorry, Ann. I'm so sorry, Aunt, that you have to go through that, brother.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad.
There we go.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5 for 1,133. This is 1951. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I can see that going for that.
If you guys are not subscribed to Cover Price, it's $6 a month. You can pay for the year to get the discount. You get access to stuff like this, including a bunch of articles and reports. There's links to all the videos. If you hit the bell icon, because this is the Cover Price channel, you'll be notified of the Monday shows when they go live, the Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Friday shows when they do it as well. Cover Price is an amazing feature. It lets you track your comics. It lets you figure out new things to buy. And you can do a wish list. You can do all these amazing things with Cover Price, and it's exactly what you need to keep track of your comics and your comic book collection. And it's what got me back into comics, finding Cover Price and cataloging all my comics. I had like 4 short boxes, and now I have 400 short boxes. Cover Price got me back into it.
Yeah.
It's
So
ordered to the
what?
chaos.
Just so you know, Cover Price also links up with CLZ Comics. So say you have all of your collection in CLZ. Well, you send that to the guys at Cover Price, and what they do is they put that into your My Collection, which is this feature right over here.
Wait, hold on.
So
Sorry. There we go.
So let me see. And this is what I use the most, because I typically like to go in here. This is where some of my collection is, basically is. And this is where I have all the series, anything that's a key book, anything that I need to look at. I also do my virtual boxes,
Cool.
and I want to do, like, say, my Halloween covers. Like, I put all my Halloween covers like right here, and as I get them.
That's
So
wicked.
kind of like what I do. And then
Some
You have some good
banger
stuff.
books. Guys,
you
if
see
you,
it?
if you think Marty's collection is impressive, what you're seeing on screen, I suggest you follow him on Instagram. I look forward to your posts. I'm gonna
Did
be
you
honest.
get a Vampirilla number 1, Marty? Because I thought you were still looking for one.
no, I have a Vampirilla number
Oh,
1.
okay.
Like what I go to, like, if I want to see what hot books that I have on my list, I'll click this little hot icon. You see hot, baby. And these are the books. These are the books I have. It shows you the books I have that are also on the hot list.
Nice.
I love that Superman cover right there. That was so cool.
Yeah.
The Rhino
And I
Cool
love what
Rocket.
Cover Price does here. It gives you like the details that you can input right here. And so if you say you click on this, you can also change all that data in here. So I use this feature mainly for everything that I do. And so I update a lot. And a lot of this, I still have to do a lot of updating. I had, unfortunately, when they did transfer my comics over, I think 1,000 of them or so, I guess, wasn't able to get on for some reason. But and then key books, same thing with here. Like if you click on the key book icon right over here, it'll show you, and it's thinking.
While you're doing that, Marty, one of the things I really like about this when you're in your collection is that you can put notes on the individual comics so that when you can pull it up, like, for example, this is one of the ones that I recently picked up. It's quad signed, but Jim Shooter signed it twice, which is kind of weird. So I was able to put in the notes section, and then that it was quad signed and twice by Jim Shooter, and then this one. You wouldn't know it by just looking at the hot books, but I have this Tomb Raider 1/2 with an old CGC label on it, which itself is pretty cool. So when I inputted this into my collection, I put old CGC label, and it's just one of those things that you can add and customize what fields are missing by using the notes section.
All right, Marty, what were you saying?
I have no idea, but thank you.
Well, I should try.
I was just saying. Okay, I was saying something about the. Okay, here we go. Yes, the key icon right over here. It'll take you to your books that you have that are keys, and it shows you right here how many that are keys. And you can scroll through them. You can filter through them however you want. Grade highest to lowest. What's trending on the market, and so on. As you see, so it's got so many great features. I use this all the time. I use this more than, actually, I hate to say, but I use this more than I use CLZ now. So, and then of course it shows me what's on my wish list and so on.
I want to see your wish list. Can we see it, or is that too personal?
No. You can see it.
What you're wishing for.
You want?
It'll get us demonetized.
Is it anything? Yeah, is it anything crazy? What's on your
wish list? This is my Grail list, and let's see my wish list.
I'm just curious. Okay.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah, these are some ones that I still need to get.
Oh, you don't have Alpha Flight, eh?
Oh, that Campbell Lizard Man! I want that one too.
Not number one. Not number one.
I have a couple. I could send you one.
Okay. Yeah, nice, man. I appreciate it.
They deliver it to all Canadians like we get the phone book. You know?
Yeah. See, I have this one, so I have to push this onto my list. This one I have. I actually found this one. So.
I love this cover.
Yeah.
That's nice. Jeez.
So, Aphrodite's. Okay. Oh, it's just Batman. You know, a lot of DC. You'll see a lot of DC. I'm a DC guy.
Yeah.
So.
A solid list, Marty.
I have that. Yeah. Okay. So there you go.
That was awesome. You did such a good job, Marty. Like seeing your collection and like seeing Lando's versus Chris. Like it's so neat to see like what you guys are collecting and what you're looking for. That's just very cool. So I think Marty nailed that, guys.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely did.
Thank you.
Good job. Golf clap.
Good job, Marty. All right, that's it for us tonight. We'll do a quick round table goodbye. Chris, we'll start with you.
Hey, Thursday, you guys know what that means. I had so much fun. I love hanging out and talking comics. It's the only day a week that I get to do it, even though that I am super sore right now from kids karate class. But parenting is hard. Comics are cool. And this show is so much fun.
It is. Good time.
That's a good rhyme. Yeah, it was a good rhyme. You're a poet. You didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Lando, you're up.
Guys, thank you. Thursdays are my favorite night. Got to hang with Chris. Got to hang with Marty. Got to hang with Laura. And of course, you guys, the chat, which we learned about Canada tonight. We learned about comics. We learned about Halloween candies. So, as Chris said, and everybody here said tonight, please comment below if you're catching the replay. Let us know what's your least favorite candy. What's your favorite candy? What was your favorite book on this list tonight? And shout out to my Canadians who stood up tonight in the chat. I had no idea we had so many Canadian viewers. So nothing but love for all of you. And for the Americans, especially those of you out in Florida, we are still going to be thinking about you guys. And stay safe, guys. Please, please.
Absolutely. Well said.
All right, I'm going to end on Marty, but before I go to Marty, we will be at NYCC. Full disclosure, if you guys are going to stop by the booth, I will not be there Friday. That's going to be my museum day. Next Thursday, I won't be here because I'll be in New York, but JB is going to be taking the reins, and you'll still have these three guys here, so it'll be an awesome show, I'm sure. So still tune in for that, support the guys. But yeah, if you guys are in New York, please stop by and see us. I don't remember what our booth number is, but if you follow us on Instagram, we post it everywhere, 38 something. I'd love to meet any of you in person that are going to be there. So stop by and say hi. But yeah, we're going to end with Marty tonight. Last words.
Nah, I mean, I want to echo what everybody said. Thank you for being on the show as always. I really enjoy this. This is definitely the Tuesday nights and Thursday nights are the highlight of my week. You know, I really enjoy coming here, being on the show with Lando, with Chris, Lady Laura. Oh, I love you. We love you so much. And the chatsters out there. It's just so fun because you learn so much, you know. There are things that I didn't know on here as well, you know, things about certain niche collecting and, you know, sort of
Airboy book being an homage.
Yeah.
That was
Cult collecting. I mean, that was a hell of an eye right there, Chris, to spot that.
That's
so
incredible.
Amazing, man. But nevertheless, thanks for joining us. This was such a great time. I really love doing this, and I don't pay anything for it. This is free for me.
Yeah.
You know? Free fun. This is
Free
the best
therapy?
high ever.
Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
I love it. So thank you so much for joining, and it was a wonderful night as always. Happy Halloween coming up. Happy Samhain. Happy Day of the Dead. Whatever you celebrate.
Happy Thanksgiving, Canada.
Happy Thanksgiving, Canada. Okay.
Who knew?
But we'll see you guys next week as always. So Excelsior.
Candy corn's nasty.
Stop.
It's gross.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.